In the village of Kherson, Russian occupation may be over, but the wounds inflicted by Russian soldiers on innocent Ukrainian civilians could last forever. CNN's Clarissa Ward joins a team of Ukrainian investigators who are going door to door looking for evidence of Russian war crimes, specifically cases of rape and other acts of sexual violence.
Day after day, they go house to house. A team of investigators dispatched from the capital. These men are tasked with looking for cases of sexual violence. No one was assaulted in this village, these women tell them, but every home has suffered. When Russian forces were pushed out of this area earlier this month, they left a trail of misery behind them. Down the road, an elderly woman, inconsolable, asks for help. I don't know where to sleep now. There are no windows or doors, she tells the policeman. Vera. 71-year-old Vera Alexeyevna's son was injured fighting on the front lines. She is alone and afraid.
Okay. She wants to invite us in to see how she's living.
This is what remains of her home. Only her precious icons are untouched. Oh my God, oh God's mother, she says, please keep my son alive and let me see him again. In town after town throughout the Kherson region, this is what victory looks like, and it is grim. Almost every house has been destroyed by heavy fighting, and the people scarred by months of Russian occupation. In the next village, the investigators talked to 56-year-old Tatiana. We have agreed not to name the village or show her face to protect her identity. She takes us to her brother's house, where she says she was raped by a Russian soldier on August 26.
He pinned me against the wardrobe and groped me. He ripped my clothes off, and I was caught in his grip. It was very hard and painful for me. I was crying, begging him to stop, but with no success.
And did he say anything when it was over?
Do not tell anyone anything or it will be worse. That's everything he told me. And then he left. It's very hard for me.
Did you tell your husband what had happened?
I didn't tell my husband right away, but I told my cousin, and my husband overheard. He said, you should have told me the truth, but you kept silent. I was very ashamed. Very.
The shame is on him.
He's probably not ashamed, if he's still alive. I wish that he and all his kin were dead.
It's coming to the end of a long and emotional day. The men visit the last village on their list. Tomorrow they will head back to Kyiv to submit their findings. They've recorded 6 allegations of rape in their 2 weeks here. It must be a hard job. It is psychologically difficult. You understand every victim is so distressed, Alexander Svidro says, but this is important work. Most cases, they say, go unreported. Like so many of the horrors that took place under Russian occupation here, they remain hidden in the dark. Now, the Russian Ministry of Defense has repeatedly denied any sort of systematic claims of rape that have been taking place with its soldiers on the ground. But one interesting thing that we found, Jake, when we asked Tatiana what she did after the rape, whether she spoke to anyone about it, she did say that she went to the Russian commander in the town 3 days after it happened and reported the officer who had raped her. And she said that his response was to come and see her a couple of days later and say that he had punched the man in question in the jaw, and would she like to have him shot? To which she replied to him, "I would like to see all of you shot, Jake."
You said, Clarissa, that these investigators that you were traveling with, that they're headed back to Kyiv to report their findings, 6 instances of rape. Is there any hope anyone will actually be held accountable?
I mean, there's no question, Jake, this is a long uphill battle and it's going to take a lot of time. Part of the challenge that they face is that it's quite difficult often to identify these Russian soldiers, to get their full names. Now, Tatiana was able to do that, but there are so many other cases where people don't either know the full name or they don't want to talk about it. But the way the Ukrainian authorities see this, and the police and the prosecutor's office who are working towards, ultimately towards getting some accountability, is that they have to start building a case. You have to start from somewhere. So they'll come back here to Kyiv, or they're now back here in Kyiv. They will put together what they have, and they will see whether they can start initiating any criminal proceedings. In more than 40 cases of sexual violence at the hands of Russian forces across the country in areas that have been occupied, they have already initiated criminal proceedings. But as I said before, Jake, this is a long slog, and it's not going to happen overnight, but it is still so important to get the details, to document it, with the hopes that one day there will be justice for these women.
This village has been through so many horrible atrocities. Do they hope that the worst is behind them? Is there any possibility that that's it? Or are they afraid that the Russians will return?
I mean, I think that, what's so tragic when you spend time in these villages and you're sort of hoping that people will be kind of jubilant that Ukrainian forces have been able to take some of this territory back. But the reality is they're now returning to their homes, because many of them obviously had left, to find their lives have been completely shattered, Jake. I mean, you look at that woman, Vera, in her 70s, sleeping on a bed with a hole in the roof and absolute sort of carnage all around her and debris, and no heat and no electricity and no water and no basic services. And, we were left with the feeling of like, how is she going to survive? How can she possibly actually continue to live here? And I think for so many people, surviving is just the first challenge. And now it's sort of trying to even fathom how you rebuild when a war is still raging, Jake.
Yeah, and the Russians continue to destroy infrastructure, and the winter is coming. Clarissa Ward in Ukraine, thank you for that powerful report. Appreciate it.